Welcome back to WebCertain TV. I'm Gemma Houghton. Today I'm joined by Marian Cramers, who's the Global Director of Network Agencies at Crimson Hexagon, a social analytics platform. And social analytics is the topic of our discussion today. Hi Marian, thank you for being here.
It's really good to be here, thank you.
So there are a lot of social analytics, e-listening kind of tools out there in the market at the moment, and a lot of businesses using them. What are the key benefits, do you think, of this kind of tools and of using this approach?
I think the amazing thing you can find in tools like this is you can hear a customer's voice at a level of detail and nuance which we haven't really had before. I mean, companies that use us now or agencies that use us would customize like focus groups and research before. That was very expensive, very time consuming, and ultimately on a very small scale. Whereas now, suddenly, we have this wide open field of unprompted and very sincere, brutally honest customer opinions that are so useful to look into.
And also, I suppose, like you say, you do a study and that's in a certain time, and by the time all the results have been...
And it's very much biased by your preconceived notions of what you think you're going to find out there.
Yeah.
Whereas now you can just open up and really get that authenticity and the rawness of that.
And do you think most businesses use these tools effectively? You know, they may have them and they say, oh, we've got these tools, but do they actually know how to get the best out of them?
Well, some of them are amazingly innovative. And so a platform like ours and a company like ours, we keep being surprised by the things company uses for, because very often we haven't even thought of that.
Yeah.
But it's, I think, most effectively used when it goes within marketing, but also outside of that, and when it's being used for customer service, for product development, to inform CMOs, to inform C-suite level. We even investors using it, for example. But also within marketing, it's really good to keep track of how consumers' lifestyles are changing and the context of your product is changing, rather than just do the navel gazing and just the brand monitoring, which is very often where people might stop.
And also, I think that's a very important point that you say it's not just for the marketing team, it's not just for the social media team to say, oh, right, this is how we can develop this campaign. It's for the brand as a whole and the insights that go well beyond just a social campaign.
Absolutely. And we have so many charities and governments and political campaigns using us as well. So the number of use cases out there is just never ending.
And then part of the challenges, you know, you said this, you've got access to this huge wealth of data that you never would have known before and insights that you wouldn't have thought of. But that can be quite challenging to then pick out the points which are most useful for your business and most beneficial. You know, how do you kind of wade through all of this and really be able to hone in on what's useful?
Yeah, we really try to create a tool that's user-friendly, that doesn't make the process intimidating. So we have a host of different automated features alongside the things you can delve in yourself as an analyst. And we also have a bit of a research process we would send a customer through. So you get to know the topic as a whole first. You can kind of see different angles to it and then decide, look, I want to research this piece, I want to answer this particular question, and that's where I'm going to delve into. And that is often the best way.
So it's very important before you even look at a tool for the first time is to think, what is it that I want to get out of this?
Absolutely.
What is the information that's going to help our business?
It's business intelligence, and you go about it the exact same way you would go about any other form of business intelligence.
So like you said, you know, there's so many developments in the past, even just a few years, in terms of what's possible, and we're seeing that happening at even a faster rate now with all of the machine learning and the technology that's out there. How are tools like yours being enhanced by, you know, machine learning, AI, and what future does that hold for marketers?
Well, it's definitely a major part of it now. So we have a machine learning algorithm within our system called BrightView. It's been the heart of our system since 2008, but it's only now really being recognized by the market as something that's part of a bigger evolution. And the way we use it is basically to help an analyst and to help a marketeer scale their understanding of the conversation. Because a marketeer can look at a few tens, a few hundreds of conversations, but they could never read everything, of course. No. But this way they can teach the algorithm, like, look, these are the patterns I'm interested in. This is what I want you to help me recognize, and then tell you this is how that particular pattern has evolved over time, historically, across so many different media types, and really come to accurate results around the globe.
Yeah, so it is very much about, it's this scale, it's about giving humans more capability than they actually have themselves.
Exactly, scale, but without losing any detail and any nuance, and I think that's the really important part.
And as we've seen, you know, from search engines and many other platforms like this, the ability of them to the ability of technology now to really get into understanding users and user intent and user behavior is phenomenal, really. So the potential must be pretty huge.
Yeah, because you can research absolutely everything, and that's, as I said before, it's so important to go beyond your brand and beyond your product and really sort of learn about people's lives, about how they make decisions, what they care about, these things.
And something else you've been talking about, I know recently, is image analytics, which is a whole new area perhaps. What is that? How does that work?
Well, it's driven by the discovery or the understanding we got that images these days is not just the illustration that goes with the text, it's communication itself. It's how young people communicate through images and videos rather than text. And so we wanted to make sure we could analyze images to the same level of detail as we do text. So we started with logo analytics. We can recognize the Mercedes, the Heineken logo anywhere across Instagram pictures and Twitter pictures. And then the next step from there will be to recognize all the other elements in there, whether it's a boy riding a bike, whether it's a festival, whether it's day or night, what other people are in there, all the way down to perhaps recognizing the emotion on people's faces, and then also being able to train the same machine learning algorithm to recognize the pictures the way a marketer or an analyst would want to.
And again, that opens up huge opportunities for really understanding what people are doing and giving you access to data that can really help as a marketer you hone everything you're doing, every message you're sending out to your customers.
Absolutely. It's very powerful, but we're all pioneers in this because none of us really know what we're going to find there. And so we really partner with our agency and our brand clients to tell us what is useful and what is valuable for them.
And what do you think for businesses that aren't really adopting any of this kind of technology, aren't really using analytics tools in this way? Is it something that every brand, no matter what the sector and what the size is, should be looking into?
I think every brand and every sector would find use in it because, for example, we have B2B clients as well. They very often at first tell us this couldn't possibly be useful for them because our decision-making cycles don't happen on social media, but we always find that actually there is use. So I think there's always use for it. We have healthcare clients as well, for example. I'm not one of the people saying you're absolutely doomed if you don't use it, but you would have to find a really intricate, nuanced understanding of your market elsewhere. And I don't really know where you would find that at scale, at detail, and at costs comparable to social media.
Yeah, because ultimately now brands who don't understand not just their own customers they're working with, but the market as a whole are the ones that are less likely to really be leading the way and engaging with.
I would say so. I mean, everywhere in the world, also in politics and economics, we're now characterized by uncertainty. We're kind of so far afield from what we thought the world was a few decades ago. So we really need to keep a finger on the pulse, and this is one way to do it.
Great. Well, thank you very much for sharing today, Marian. It was great to talk to you.
Thank you very much.